Guys, the Wings are for sure gonna get their 10th win today. Welcome back to the DLLS Wings podcast. I'm your host, Erika Day. I'm joined by Bobby Karalla today. We're going to be probably joined by a few other people. Who knows? Your guess is as good as mine, to be honest with you. But shout out to you guys for joining. Bobby's coming to us live from downtown Dallas, where I guess nearby later today, Dallas will be taking on the Phoenix Mercury in the final regular season game. And I don't know why I keep saying regular season as if there's more basketball to be played. If you're a Wings fan, there is not. We have established that far long ago. Oh my gosh, I know. Breaking news. The Dallas Wings have not made the playoffs.
Jeez. Yeah, that lousy attempt at humor right off the top of the show was silenced by an internet glitch, thankfully. But that one did make it all the way through. I am relieved to know at least that we are matching. I think that's great. And the quest for 10 wasn't it Dorothy that said they'll get their 10th win next year, or was that a chatter? Was it Classic Staying Lover?
It might have been Classic Staying Lover.
Yeah, so we might be waiting for a little while, unfortunately. But yeah, we still got a lot to talk about.
I want to start things off, honestly. Well, actually, rewind. Shout out to Elijah back today, behind the Mac, shooting the X's and O's, driving the bus, shipping the sink, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Exactly. I like that he gives himself a round of applause and none for us. Bobby, we take what we can get. We take what we can get.
Yeah, I mean, all we have
But
is companionship and connection with our community, and that to me is priceless.
it is. It's worth of all the money and weight of gold in the world, or whatever they say. I'm
Yep,
bad with sayings.
you said it perfectly.
Um, Thank gosh. But I want to start by like having a little pregame moment about ahead of this game versus the Phoenix Mercury. And I'll be honest, this whole pod today feels sacrilegious to me personally as the host of the PHNX Mercury podcast. It pains me to say what I'm about to say out loud. But I woke up this morning and I'm like, oh, this is a terrible day to be me. Like, no matter what, I win, but there is a morality to this all that hurts. And if you know anything about the Phoenix Mercury, they're coming off a 2-game losing streak. One of it started versus the Connecticut Sun, and then continued 2 nights ago versus the LA Sparks with me courtside, mind you. They had me courtside, and they choked out versus the LA Sparks.
It was cool to see that
Uh,
picture of you with Cindy Brunson afterward, though. That was like, oh, let's go.
That's my girl for real. That's my partner in most crimes. And when you've got me and Cindy, arguably Phoenix Mercury royalty, sitting courtside together, and you're gonna lose the game like that, it's disgusting. That's just, yeah, it's painful. And so, to my point, though, the Phoenix Mercury are resting quite a bit of their players. DeWanna Bonner isn't even going to play tonight. Apparently, Lexi Held, who I was going to make a joke that you guys could certainly beat Lexi Held. The Dallas Wings can certainly beat a Lexi Held uh, ran team. But unfortunately, Lexi Held been rolled out. So you still have to deal with our starting point guard, and you still have to deal with the starting five in its totality, but they're only going to play about 22 minutes. So if you can just keep things manageable for the first 20 to 25 minutes of this game, not only is it winnable, it's it's right there on the shelf for them to take. And I'm
You talk,
not joking. Like, I
you're talking
feel
about the
Bobby
Mercury, right?
laughing. No, I am dead serious that the Dallas Wings can 1000% pull this game out of their rear end.
Well,
And
Paige isn't on the injury report, so I would expect Paige to play. a lot of other players are, obviously, but my question to you is: so are the Mercury locked into fourth? Like, have they clinched fourth, or
Yeah.
do they need to win? Or okay,
There's nothing they can do to move themselves up or down.
okay, yeah,
And
because they were
that's
for
part of my frustration, but
yeah, it's just great. Like, obviously, it feels like the Aces haven't lost in like 6 months, but they went on a tear. Atlanta got off to a good start and has been good all year, but like Atlanta's going to finish second. That's just a big surprise. It really felt like it was going to be Minnesota, Phoenix, New York. Um, but Phoenix and New York are fourth and fifth. Like, it's just the first round is shaping up. That's going to be a battle. That is going to be a battle. And then for the winner of that to have to go on to face Minnesota in the second round, like, holy moly. But yeah, from the Wings perspective, like, yeah, it's possible. Possible. I mean, do you think you have a more intimate understanding of the way the Mercury are coached and kind of their approach to games? Do you think they're gonna double team Paige, a bunch of cowards, all night long, or do you think they're gonna be cool and let her go for like 50 or 60?
well, I mean, earlier this season, Paige did torch them for 32 points, and it was a heavy moment of contention for this team. Like, I mean that. Like, you're gonna let the Dallas Wings come in here, and you're gonna let their star players put up 32 points on your home court, no less. Yeah, that's not, Eh, I love to see it from this perspective, but from that perspective, I'm like, you guys are supposed to have one of the top defenses in the league, and you let this squad come in here and do that. But I don't think they're gonna have the. To be honest, I don't think they're gonna have the personnel to be double teaming her with the way that they're resting their players and everything like that. I think it's gonna leave a avenue of opportunity for Paige to go out there and do her thing and have some fun. And to be honest, like end the season on a high note. If you watch the Connecticut Sun game on Sunday, like that team is not going to the playoffs. In fact, they might already have their trip to Cancun booked and started for tomorrow. Like it is all set in stone for them. They're good to go. They made sure their passport pictures were up to date on Sunday after they beat the Phoenix Mercury. The Dallas Wings, similarly, trip to Cancun, been booked. I mean, they're mentally already there. But if you have a chance to go on a high note in front of your home team, like in front of your home crowd, a sold out crowd, no less, and like it really speaks to the community that's like rallied behind Paige that the team has 9 wins and they've sold out this game on a Thursday afternoon. I guess it's evening, I guess, for you guys, but like it says a lot about the community that's backing the team and that they are building something and that they are in it for the long term. It's not just a, oh, you guys didn't win this year, we're done, we're out of here, can't believe this has happened, we're gonna go be, I don't know, Aces fans or something, but they've stuck around and they're gonna hang out. And so giving those fans something to celebrate, albeit only 10 wins, is something to be said. So I think if they can get it done, super. I won't be surprised, to be honest, after the week of basketball I've watched the Phoenix Mercury play. To be honest, you know, TCU might be able to beat them if they locked in enough. So, as you can see, I'm feeling really butthurt and hateful at the fact that they lost these 2 games. It's really got me in my feels. If there's one thing you should know about me, it's that my mood is 100% decided on bouncy ball games.
Well, that's the
100%.
sign of a true diehard. That is the sign of a true diehard. So respect. Maybe you'll have something to cheer about tonight. But either way, you win. You said that yourself on the old bird. No matter what happens tonight, you are going to get to tuck yourself in like Donald Duck with a big smile on your face. Do you wear like a little sleep hat the way that Donald does? Do you know what I'm talking about? Or Daffy? Which one is it?
Absolutely.
It's Donald
I
Duck,
do
right?
wear a sleep hat.
Do you really?
Yeah.
With the little snowball thing?
Well, no snowball, but I do wear something on my
Oh,
head to
nice.
go to sleep. Yeah,
Is it a bonnet?
it
W-
is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I take care of my hair.
Yeah, good for you.
Do you wear one, Bobby? Like maybe you should
No,
if not.
I don't wear. I don't. I'm not a hat guy.
Who wears a do rag?
No, I'm not a hat guy. I do need to get a haircut actually, though. It's getting pretty long. Um, I went to an actual. I went like to an actual barber a few weeks ago, and I got a proper do, a proper cut, and I was mortified at what it costs. Like my mom has cut my hair for probably 10 years or so. And it's just a straight buzz, buzz, buzz. But I wanted to try something a little different, and so this is my first haircut I've paid for since like 2015. Like, oh my god, people do this? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Bobby, to be honest, full peek behind the curtain here, Bobby and KG, myself, Ali, we don't get a lot of opportunity to really get to know each other. So I have no idea if Bobby's married. I have no idea if he has children, no clue. But like
I recently said
some,
on the Mavs chat, I was doing an ad read for one of our sponsors, and in there it says that financial concerns are like a leading cause of stress in relationships. And I read that part of the read and get back, and Mark Stein is like, "Why are you saying that stuff? You're single." So everyone is dunking on me. And in the chat, I said, "Yeah, I'm the most single. Like I'm extremely single." So now I'm just it's canon now.
I'm glad it's a part of the plot there for DLLS. I feel like it might add some real value to a diehard membership if, you know, you never know who's watching these shows. So,
True.
become a diehard now. You never know what you're gonna
Yeah,
find out about Bobby.
become a diehard. You'll get my address and my phone number.
Okay, not too
You won't. That
much,
won't
Bobby.
happen. That will never happen. I promise.
I don't even remember why I was going to say that now, but
Haircuts.
well, yeah. No, but I would think that when you find out one day if you do have a daughter or you do have a wife that has to go, get her hair blonded or just generally cut in general, anytime, it is just absolutely ridiculous. Like $100 for a haircut is diabolical. Like I can operate scissors. I don't know about you guys, but I actually can hold scissors just fine. I can do that myself. And then the bleach part of it, you're talking $400 to get your daughter's hair
Oh
bleached.
my
So
god.
please never have a child, Bobby. It's a trap. It is a trap, man.
You don't need.
I'm not.
Here's some free advice. All right, you don't got to spend $400 to look good. You spend $36 to look good. Become a diehard. You get a free shirt. You're gonna look good. All right, you're gonna look great. Okay, save your money. Buy merch. Don't save it. Spend your money on merch. Save your money from the barber, unless you know them and they're good people, and you want to support them as well.
Bobby just confirmed he's never getting a haircut again.
Never. All right. I'm just going to buy merch. I have 1,000 shirts. I don't know where my
Actually,
couch is. There's just shirts everywhere. All right. Erika, can I make a confession?
I would love that, Bobby. Go ahead.
Okay. So with this being the last game of the season, and we're doing a whole season recap episode next week, and then throughout the off season, we're going to be with you. There's going to be big news, I'm sure. There's going to be free agency. There's going to be work, CBA related stuff. Hirings, maybe firings, who knows? We're going to be around for it. But coming into the last game of the year, this is my first season, like really like covering the WNBA. I've obviously seen games before. I've watched plenty of basketball, pro, college, women's, men's. But as far as like being plugged in, locking in on all the teams, experiencing the social media, watching stud buds, like this is my first season as like a real, like invested fan, person, whatever you want to call it. And so that's the confession. I wish that I would have done it sooner. Good God, I've been missing out. But like more importantly, I just want to say how fun it's been. Like, it's just been so much fun. And the Wings have been lousy. Their season was kind of over almost before it even began. There wasn't a lot to feel excited about, although there were some highs. We'll talk about those. There were plenty of lows. We'll talk about those too. But it was just so much fun to really dive into this thing. And I mean, if you're watching this show or if you're watching this in the future, you're probably way more invested than either of us even. But if somehow you see this and you're teetering on the fence of, do I want to become a fan? Yes, do it. It's awesome. It is so much fun. Like being a fan, joining the conversation, seeing other people in the community, like just like lurking, scrolling through the timeline and reading what other people are tweeting. Like it's just been so much fun. And like Steven says in the chat, this is just such a perfect time because like the last few years, I've paid attention. I've watched. It's watching Erika is really fun. Like I've been kind of, but sort of like isolated in my little cave watching, and then every now and then seeing tweets and stuff. But like this year was like, dude, screw it. I'm going all in. I'm all in, and I'm gonna see what happens. And it's just been so freaking cool. And part of me is kicking myself for waiting as long as I did, but part of me is also like, I'm really happy that it happened.
It's also so fun because, every once in a while I hear a story about an athlete from 2008, and then I go on a little deep dive and I'm finding old interviews, old videos, and so you get a whole discovery process. And so, albeit if even if a little late, Bobby, we're glad you joined the club. It's a fun club to be a part of. And sometimes a little bit of a scary club, not gonna lie. You guys on the tweeter, y'all are scary people sometimes. But, you are also some of the funniest people I've ever witnessed. So, what did I send in the Dallas Slack last week about old CK? Yeah, Chris is big into the Montessori approach. Yeah, I mean, like, who's coming up with things like that?
Mm.
You know, only the Twitter streets. So, you know, I'm grateful that you're here, Bobby.
Well, thank you. But it's just, I don't, it's really interesting because I've worked for the Mavs for 10 years. I've only ever covered the NBA professionally, like no other sport, no other league. Um, it's just been pro men's basketball for me. And NBA fandom online can be really funny, but it's also just like, I don't know, we're just inundated with like national voices and people that are really plugged into the league, just like constantly complaining about the product. They're complaining about just whatever. There's just so much negative energy, just so much. Yeah. And W fans, they love their faves the way that NBA players or NBA fans do, or the way that NFL fans do, or whatever. And so there's going to be stan wars and things like that. But like, I don't know. It's almost like there's this kind of like secret agreement among fans to just, yeah, we're just having fun though, right? Like this is just fun at the end of the day. We're just making jokes and having a good time, and that it doesn't really feel like that element is present in other online places, in other sports. And so, yeah, I'm like happier about that than anything because I got to laugh a lot this year, and I think that's great.
What Bobby's saying is he wishes the MNBA community could be a lot more like the WNBA
Hell
community. Like
yeah,
he would
hell
be
yeah.
much happier. He would need less therapy. He might actually not be single anymore if the MNBA community was anything like the WNBA community.
All right, let's not get crazy. Okay, let's not
Now
get crazy.
I'm dunking on Bobby. This is getting to be a little hateful. I feel bad now.
No, Luds did the same thing. It was a Stars watch along. The Stars are in the Western Conference Finals. They're doing a post game show. There's like 1,500 people watching, and I leave because it's like 57 minutes into the show, and I'm not even on the show. So I leave to go home for the night. I'm just helping them out. And while I'm on the way out, Luds just goes, Bobby, where are you going? Why are you leaving? You're not going home for anyone. Like I'm like, dude, just take it easy.
They just want you to work more, Bobby. They want to turn you into a workhorse.
That's right. That's right. No one wants to work anymore.
Oh man, don't get me started on that. Ugh. Well, Bobby, I want to ask you. I know we're doing a season recap next week, and this is my promise to you, the viewer, that we will have Dorothy J. Gentry here on this recap episode. She's already yelled at me that we did not prepare her well enough in terms of timing today. Next week, I pinky promise from the bottom of my heart, the depths of hell, I will make sure that Dorothy J. Gentry is available for this recap episode. It's very, very important to me that she is here. And honestly, KG needs to be here as well because there's a few rants that I was expecting for him to let off toward the end of the season. And my guy's just been booked and busy. And so I'm going to need him to just unbook himself for 1 hour of your time. It's all I need. So, KG, if you're watching, this is my plea to you. But to the viewers, don't worry. I'll do everything I can in my power to get the two individuals we need most involved. But I do want to ask you, like, just looking back, like, what your favorite non-basketball moment was with the Wings, because it has been a lot of fun off the court, almost more fun off the court.
Has been fun off the court. I mean, seeing Paige at All Star Weekend, like this is all via the Stud Buds, but seeing Paige at All Star Weekend was great. But I think just I don't know what we would call it. Just like Lee existing, Lee mania. if you will, just quotes about going on a roller coaster and Paige is making her get sick, or just Erika saying something really nice about her in a post game press conference, and Lee just like whispering thank you. Like I don't know, Lee is just awesome. Lee is great, and she can also really play basketball. And I think that was probably my favorite story of the year, or favorite non basketball thing outside of just Paige being incredible. But I mean, I feel like that's kind of the easy answer. I'm trying to look for something that's not as obvious. Um, Basketball wise, I mean, JJ Quinterly is just awesome. I don't know. JJ Quinterly is my kind of basketball player. Just hard nosed,
No, she's
plays
been
hard.
incredible.
Yeah, goes hard. Just gets knocked down, gets back up. Even faster than the last time. Like and being like a 24th round pick in the draft and still doing that. I mean, it's just so cool to see players like that succeed in a league where, now granted, the Wings had a lot of injuries and they're not super good or anything in the standings, but um in a league where like top 5 picks regularly are out of the league in 2 or 3 years. Like for JJ to make it, she was a third round pick, or fourth, was it third round or fourth round? Third round pick. Make it and like play quality minutes and like be a quality player. And I hope she has a future with the team, if not the league. Like that's just so cool to me. What about you?
I need Lee Yaroo to be a mainstay on the South Wings team next year, simply so that we can abuse Lee Mania to no end next season. That I need it everywhere. I need graphics made on a t-shirt. Make some give her a product so that we can just Lee Mania the world.
Heck
That's
yeah.
incredible. I love that. But I was thinking about this exact question this morning because I'm like, man, it's been a lot of poopy stuff going on. But I think about Paige's first pitch at the Rangers game and just the family dynamic of all of that. And albeit half the family is gone, not with us anymore, whether that's Dejanay and Melissa or any of the rest of the people that were there that night. But the team never quit on each other. And I don't know. I'm not locked in with the Wings like I am with the Mercury, so I don't know what the coaches, what the players buy in with the coaches anymore. I don't. I'm not going to sit here and claim to know what that is. But what I can say is, from the outside looking in and watching the teammates interact with each other, even through one of the worst seasons I've literally ever seen in the WNBA, like they have still stayed true to each other and built on the belief of each other, and not that, oh, we need to get to next year so we can get rid of these people and we can be better, but how can we as a team grow? And that to me speaks volumes to where this team can go in the future, especially with Paige at the helm and just the leadership that she brings to everything. So I know it's kind of basketball related, so sorry about, but I think that just the overall buy-in with each other and willingness to not be great so that they can learn from each other is, says more about them than anything on the court. So, I hope that Leah Rue stays. I hope JJ stays because, to your point, like her story is very unique, and even her collegiate story is unique. And so, I think she brings a lot of grit to the team, and I think grit is an underrated attribute of athletes a lot of times. And so, yeah, although this season has been blowy poo poo butthole, not really other ways to say it, to be honest with you. The team looks like they've had a blast, and like watching Lee, play dealer at the casino night they had the other day, like you can't you don't get to those points unless you at least respect your teammates. And like you see, there are other teams in the league, I will not name any names, but that are not having as good a luck in terms of inner cultural dynamics and for their team, and that's unfortunate. And so, even though the Wings have been consistently one of the bottom teams of the league, they've really maintained true to themselves in terms of the players, and I love that.
And I think that like is a testament to the players, to Paige, to the other young players, to the vets as well. Like it's always a very kind of precarious position, right? Whenever you're already kind of a struggling team, undergoing a lot of change, and then you get this injection from a probably a generational superstar level player who comes in as a rookie and like immediately takes over the league, or it takes the league by storm. Maybe she's not taking over the league. Maybe that'll be next year. Um,
She is fifth in per game scoring. Like, and I think that's getting undersold. Like fifth in per game scoring on a terrible team that
yeah,
she has no help. And like the spacing of her scoring, sure, yeah, she can score anywhere on the floor, but like how difficult is it to score when no one else on your team is able to put a freaking bucket, a ball in the basket? Like, and that's not a slight to her teammates. It's just the reality of the situation that she's been in. So sorry, sorry for the
no, no,
interruption, Bobby. Didn't
no,
didn't mean to
absolutely,
yell.
absolutely. But that's that kind of pressure and sort of excitement and attention and all that stuff can have funny effects on locker rooms, because just as Paige is proving to the world that she is who everyone thought she is, there are other rookies that are fighting for their careers. Basically, JJ Quinterly, third round pick, she's fighting for her career. Like, why should I care about Paige? I want to stick around in this league too. Or veteran like Erika, whose sort of importance and gravitas within this organization really can't be understated. Erika is like voluntarily saying like, yeah, it's Paige's team, and handling that situation. Granted, it wasn't always pretty on the court with them playing together, but handling that situation off the court in the locker room with maturity, professionalism, grace, buy-in, and all that stuff, like that speaks volumes to their relationship. Dejanay comes here, probably thought it was going to go a little better than it did individually and with the team. It didn't. They traded her. She was locked in the night Paige scored 44. Like, she's watching every bounce of the ball. Like, it really does feel like Paige has this magnetism. And it does also feel like, I know a lot of fans are upset with what they perceive to be either bad coaching or bad management, or players on the team that are trying to do too much or not doing enough or whatever. It does seem like the players are together though, and that credit needs to go somewhere. If you don't want to credit the coach or the management, then you got to credit the players. And it, I think you have to start with them because the Wings are rebuilding. They're very young, but it does seem like they have a group of players that are locked in, that want to stick together, that want to fight together, and that want to drag this thing out of the mud.
Well, and I think, to our points, like this expansion draft, the way the CBA is laid out, everything that is to come in this off season, like as much as we're talking about it, you have to know that the Wings players that much and more know what's to come for them. And so I would gander, granted, I'm not in their locker room, but I would gander it's not easy to stay locked in with each other when you know how much change is almost inevitable for your team, especially after the start that they had. And knowing, okay, not only are we going to face an extreme roster change in the offseason, but now that we low key are not very good, borderline bad, we're probably going to have a coaching change and laundry list of other changes to come in the offseason. So I it definitely has been a rocky season for them, but them staying locked in gives me hope that the players that are going to remain here are going to be loyal to the franchise for a long time. And I don't know if you see me in the comments, like Steven's talking about how Lee is going to be in Phoenix next year. Ain't no way. Okay. I promise I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that that does not happen. Because, I don't need you guys threatening me anymore because I keep taking your players out of Dallas. I'm not doing it.
Can I ask you a
I
question about? I'm gonna ask
mm,
you a Phoenix question actually, so this should make you happy.
okay.
All right. So the Mercury. Now, granted, they got off to this great start. They've slumped a little bit. Whatever. They're going to finish fourth, which is really good. I mean, fourth is great. A lot of new players on this team. Every single player on the Mercury, with the exception of Kalani Brown, is going to be a free agent this offseason. And it's that way with a lot of teams. And the Wings were in a similar situation heading into the year. Granted, they have a lot of players on rookie contracts that could be back, but the Mercury had a lot of new players, and there's a chance that none of them or maybe all of them will be back next year. No one really knows. How were they able to, or have they been able to, like really come together, gel, all that stuff, and play kind of carefree, not worried about what's to come on the other side of this? Is it strictly because they're
To
all vets, or
Phoenix,
like are they all just that good? Like what is it?
to be honest, Phoenix's starting point guard, Monica Kawamakani, you can watch her tonight. She is brand new to the league, as well as, um, Satu and Kalia. Satu missed, I think, 4 games. David Veenstra in the comments, I know, will correct me if I'm wrong. And then Kalia missed the first 20-ish games, give or take. And I mean, those are two of your big three, and then DeWanna Bonner did not get to Phoenix until late June. So most of the players that Phoenix was on that big win streak with, when they went on the 7-game win streak, Satu missed 2 of those games, and Khalil had not played a single game for Phoenix yet. Most of the players that were winning for them were Kit Loxa, Lexi Held, Monica Kalmakani, and one more that I am blanking the name of, but all of those, the three people I just named, never had played in the WNBA before. So I don't think it's about veteran leadership. I do think it's about setting intentional goals at the end of the at the beginning of the season that are attainable for your team, and keeping those expectations all year round, regardless of record. And, a lot of people picked Phoenix to miss the playoffs at the beginning of the season. I literally been just in the comments like only Erica would be mad about a fourth place finish after like big WNBA media told me that they weren't going to go to the playoffs in the offseason. Um, but when you aren't projected to make the playoffs and then you get off to a hot start, it makes it winning solves everything. We've talked about that 100 times on the show. So it didn't make the buy-in hard for anybody, I think. And then on top of it, the veteran leadership, I guess. So yes, with that comes with having Alyssa Thomas in your locker room, period, point blank, is second to none. And I think there are a handful of players that you could argue come with the same level of intensity and leadership and charisma and what has to turn into buy-in for their teammates, than Alyssa Thomas. But you know, she she forced them into an identity, and they stuck to that regardless of if it was winning them games or not. And I think that that is what you have to do in a year like this where movement is inevitable, right? Like they didn't know what was going to happen with DeWanna Bonner. They had no idea. I don't think anyone would have projected what happened with DeWanna Bonner was going to happen. And so, their front office was ready in a moment's notice when something did happen, and was doing everything they could to make sure that the players that were still in Phoenix or were in Phoenix when got here weren't going to feel like they were put out of their place by Dewana coming. So, I mean, it starts, you said something earlier that like really stuck out to me. Like when you talk about the Dallas Wings, you have to start with the players, because the players are where the buy-in starts for this particular Dallas Wings team. When you talk about the Phoenix Mercury, you have to start at the top. Matt Ishbia, the owner of the team, is going on the radio talking about his belief in the roster that he constructed. Then you've got the GM and all of his staff, his support staff under him, that talk about their roster construction, and then down to the head coach. And so then you finally get to the actual team, and it makes it so easy to just go out there, believe in each other, and play basketball, because you've been being told all week by your owner, Matt Ishbia, hey, this person next to you, we scouted them in Cameroon for 2 years. We know that she can win, and we know she can defend to the level that you need her to do so. And now all you have to do is go out there and worry about what you need to do. You don't even have to worry about your post game meal, girl. We got that for you too. And so, it starts at the top here in Phoenix. And until Dallas, frankly, catches up with that, they might be a playoff team, but they're never going to win. And that's unfortunately the reality of the WNBA right now. Like if you look at what New York has done with their team and their roster construction, let me tell you something. There's no way you can convince me that Emma Mieseman deserves what she's being paid. Like she 100,000% deserves more money than what she is being paid by the New York Liberty. But when you have the resources, I'm sure the home accommodation, the probably I would, she either has a brand new vehicle that she gets to drive for fun, or she gets a driver. Like take your choose your fighter type, like so until the Wings catch up egregiously in resources, it has to start with the team. So it kind of stinks. I think luckily for Wings fans, like you can say this confidently, like Paige is never going to be on a team without buy-in because everyone loves playing with her. She's willing to put her own success aside, individual success aside for the team success. And so you're never going to see a Paige-led team ran into the ground. That's just not, the reality of what's going to happen. So I think luckily for Wings fans, it doesn't have to be perfect in Dallas to get free agents there, but you do need to catch up significantly in terms of everything else outside of basketball to make it a lot easier for your team.
And no rush, but doing it as soon as possible would be great. And it's almost like broken record. The season has been in effect over for 2 or 3 or 4 weeks now, really for like 2 months. But you know, the last nail was put in the coffin a few weeks ago, and since then it's been a lot of that same sort of thing from you and from me and Dorothy and KG and Ali. I mean, you know, there's many ways. Last week Ali joined us and talked about the Mystics and how they were able to, now granted they oh my god, there he is. What's up?
What's up? How are y'all?
We're good, man. I don't want to take the words out of your mouth, but we're just in the middle of this like organizational turnaround, right? Erika was talking about how Phoenix, with them it starts at the top and they're pouring money into the organization, and then you get all these veterans and now you can win. The Mystics nail a couple draft picks. They already have this foundation of young players, and all of a sudden turning it around. That was clap is really loud. I'm sorry. And the Mystics end up missing the playoffs, but they're going to finish 7 or 8 games ahead of the Wings this year. And now the Wings are trying to catch up to them too. I mean, this league is competitive. There's only 13 teams, but the gap between 13 and 8 feels way, way wider than it does in a league with 30 teams.
Yeah, no, definitely
I
it
was like,
does.
man, what a great point that was. Boom, mic drop. I'm out of here.
No, it definitely does. I feel like a wide gap. Like you think like teams like the Mystics. I know the Sparks are out of it as well too. I mean, you kind of feel like those teams, they had their shot. Like LA wasn't able to really recover. I mean, they went on a run, but couldn't fully recover from their rough start. The Mystics, they flirted with 500 multiple times. But then, yeah, I mean, really the only two teams you look at, Dallas and Connecticut, were kind of only two teams that, I mean, I hate to say it, there was really no hope throughout the season. Like the only hope in Dallas is the fact that they have Paige Bueckers. Isaiah James as well. She had some good performances for them as well this season. So, but yeah, I mean, it is really weird when you look at that gap and you kind of just see like, wow, like all these teams were in it except maybe those bottom two.
I've been waiting for Ollie to get here because I wanted to have one discussion, but I needed him to be a part of it. It was very important to me, dire conversation we must have. And it's that, I feel like we're one step close to Angel Reese in a Dallas Wings jersey.
Ooh.
Yeah, Bobby might get his dream.
We need it. We need like
I
you want to inject some real energy into this
out.
team. Like
Yeah.
you want to like create some real momentum. Like that now, taking a swing that big, depending on what you have to give up, it could be really tough. Like it's not like it's just do it and win, but holy moly. Like
No,
it's
and I think
not outrageous to think it could happen.
it's not. And like to go back to what we talked about last week when we were basically mapping out the off season for this team. Like again, I mentioned if Dallas wins that lottery and has that number one pick, like do they swing towards making that move, or do they see like no, like we're in position to get potentially even better player, but if you don't get that number one pick, do you feel like okay, we feel more comfortable giving this pick up to get a player like Angel Reese?
Erika, what would you do? Erika, you're the mayor, but you're always the mayor. But for the next 15 minutes, you're the
I'll be
GM.
honest, if I'm Kurt Miller, which I would love to be Kurt Miller. I would do backflips if I was Kurt Miller every day. But I have been an Angel Reese fan I've spoken about it publicly multiple times. Seemingly, he's spoken about it privately even more times, and he knows what type of value she brings. So, personally, if I'm Kurt Miller, first things first is we have to get a coach in a position to where the team is going to be successful, and then I'm making any move possible, with the exception of giving up Paige Bueckers to get Angel Reese. And to be honest, you don't have to do anything too crazy because it's kind of been proven that the Chicago Sky ownership slash management team is in a world of their own. And so if you can pull a fast one over on anybody, it's the Chicago Sky. So I think throw all your eggs in the cap that it takes. If you're on the phone every hour for the next 3 weeks, Jeff, trying to get some sort of contingency completed, that's what he needs to be doing. Throwing every piece of paint he can find at the wall until it sticks, because when you guys first brought it up, I'm like, oh, this is like a ridiculous conversation, but it'll be fun. Like, it'll be fun. And then obviously the way that things have played out with Angel has just, to be honest, it's blatantly obvious she will never be suiting up in a Chicago Sky uniform again. And like, I really am so sorry to our CHGO Sky show. That's terrible. I hate that for you. My heart goes out to you. But personally, I would like to see the DLLS wing show take advantage and bring her home, you know? She likes playing in
That would
Texas.
be phenomenal for the viewership of the show to get
It'll
a
be
player like
phenomenal for the
Angel.
viewership of the team. We
It really
deserve
would be,
it.
yes,
You know,
absolutely,
Angels have
absolutely.
wings. Like, come on. But this is kind of I have a follow up question for you, Erika. So, the Mercury this year, they added a lot of new players. And some of them are rookies, some of them are young, but many of them are upper 20s or 30s that have experience. And we saw the wings get Dejanay and get Alyssa, who are both in their mid 20s, and it didn't really work. Like, do you think that? I mean, I think for the future, certainly getting Angel would be incredible. But do you think if, let's say, the Wings are trying to make the playoffs next season, like playoffs, it's not title or bust. It's just we want to make the playoffs. Do you think that they should try and target younger players and even young stars like Angel, or do you think that they should target, because almost the whole league will be a free agent, almost the whole league will be available? Do you think that they should target older players, more seasoned, more veteran, with that experience to try and help bring them over the hump?
I really hate to sound like a broken record, but until they're not using trash cans as ice bins, like they're not going to get those older players. And I'm not trying to be nasty or anything. That's just the truth of the matter. And if you talk to those veterans that you're talking about that came to Phoenix, like the reason they came here is because they were tired of practicing in a rec gym. And they got shoved out for a 9-year-old's birthday party one too many times, and they said, we're all set. And when you now have a dedicated, like, uh, you know, Candace Parker has gone on record talking about how she does not have or did not have a, a locker that was hers in Chicago. Like, she brought a WNBA championship to her hometown team with no locker with her name on it. Like, let's let that sink in there for a second. Like, her name is in the rafters, but her name was never on a locker. Like, that's a bar, and not a good bar. That's actually a terrible bar that I wish I was never saying out loud. And so, until you can get those resources in place, like, you have to go after the young stars because that's what you're going to be able to kind of get. Like, and I think, unfortunately, like, Angel has been in the league now over a year. She's made enough veteran friendships to probably have a home anywhere she wanted to go if they can get the trade done. And I think that's the one thing, like, not working on the wing side, but like, Hurts public comments and support of Angel. If I were Angel, I would want to come play in Dallas because there have been a lot of other owners, a lot of other GMs, a lot of other teams, head coaches that, when given the opportunity to speak highly of Angel, maybe haven't done so. And so if I'm Angel, I want to go where they're gonna water me. And it seems that they would definitely water her down bad here in Dallas. So I think it would be in everybody's best interest to go after young players if they're Dallas. I need them to get this damn facility like done like tomorrow, because if they can just get that, this entire conversation is null and void. And then Alyssa Thomas, albeit over my dead body, might want to come play with Paige, you know? And again, over my dead body, but might want to.
Yeah, no, look, I would say too as well. Like, I mean, I would rather be on the side where you do go younger because I think it's a privilege and advantage. I'd say an advantage to have a young team in sports because you can see a lot of the experimenting, the growth, the development, But you do also want that player that, yes, they're older, but they're like prime older. Like they are in the prime of their career that could really elevate this team to a new level as well. Uh, Here's the thing I want to ask y'all, like, who has more of a leverage in the trade rights? Like Chicago, it is again, their first round pick belongs to Minnesota, and so who kind of has more leverage? Like, do you kind of think Chicago is in a position where there might be a desperation mode, like we got to get something, and or do the other teams see it, kind of towards their advantage? Because Chicago's in a position right now where it's tough. Like the fact that your pick belongs to a team that could be in the finals, it could be holding the trophy after the season is crazy by itself.
I just think there's something like Minnesota's really good. They might win the championship, and I feel like it maybe the smartest thing to do would be to get their pick back, especially if it's up being the number one pick. But maybe Minnesota would want to use that pick anyway. But
Right.
let's say Minnesota's down to make the trade. I feel like there is some sort of pride element. Like we're going to give you our best player, our most popular player, just for a draft pick. Like that's just such a tough sell to your fan base.
Right.
That's so tough. I don't know, Erika. What do you think?
I don't think Dallas has much room for error here. I
Yeah.
think that they need to keep to their P's and Q's. And to be honest, if they manage to make it through this and keep Camilla and keep all the rest of their pieces, I'll be so impressed. Because if I were in that locker room, uh, with the exception of Rachel Banham, like I would want to leave. Like, and honestly, just simply for how the Sky has handled this situation has been pretty crappy. And so I don't really think that any if I were a different GM outside of Chicago, I'm not giving Jeff or Chicago any leverage. Like, okay, your star player is not going to suit up for you. She doesn't want to play there anymore. So if you don't want to have this conversation, that's fine. You can just pay Angel to sit on the sidelines. Like that's what I would say if I was Kurt Miller. And so uh yeah, and I think those conversations probably are being had if I were to guess, because these, and maybe not yet because we are so far away from these moves actually being happening. Like I don't know, Bobby, since this is your first year, like we're not even close to off-season moves actually even starting. Like it sucks because we're gonna have this recap episode next week and it's gonna be so fun. We're gonna lay it out. We're gonna give Kurt Miller a recipe for success. We're gonna say, hey, you know that white chicken chili you really liked? I'm gonna teach you how to cook it up. Here you go. And then he's gonna have to wait like 5 to 6 months to even begin to execute that. And like that's what's terrible here. Because first of all, A, what if he forgets? And B, I don't know if you forgot about the what is it? The free agent, 6 week summer camp that they get to have. And I know it's not during the summer, but that's essentially what it is. Like they just all get to go to VBS together and go hoard about, oh, my practice facility is really nice. Oh, well, we get a private chef. Oh, well, we get rides to and from the games in a Uber Black XXXL. Oh my gosh, well, I took a helicopter to the Empire State Building this year, thanks to my owner. And so, when they're at the breakfast table and everyone's trying to fight to sell Angel their team, Angel's going to be it's going to end up that Angel's the one with leverage. And so Paige, if you're watching, you have a job to do at the unrivaled breakfast table. And that is to sell the team. Sell Kurt Miller. Make Kurt Miller send you some cash to buy breakfast, buy a nice lunch for Angel, maybe buy her a Rolls Royce, and
Hey,
then Angel is a wings.
we are not encouraging any player or any team to circumvent the salary cap. I want to go on record DLLS Sports is very pro following the CBA rules. Okay, so don't investigate us. Stay out, Kathy. And
If
Adam
she's gonna
Silver and
investigate
everyone, Roger
someone,
Goodell, all y'all, just leave us alone.
if
Actually, Roger Goodell,
if they're
you can
gonna
investigate.
investigate someone,
You what?
eh, if they're gonna investigate anyone and it ends up being the Dallas Wings, there's gonna be a tear from Erica Day on Twitter. So
Yeah,
watch out for
don't
that.
waste your time. All right, there's nothing. Even if they're breaking the rules, leave us alone. We've been through a lot. Okay,
We've been through too much this past year.
like maybe
Um,
not every. Some teams should be able to cheat. All right, let's just be honest. Some teams could, not all teams, but some teams should be able to cheat. My favorite team should be able to cheat.
and for this reason, the Wings will get 3 on-goal opportunities tonight before the game even starts.
Oh wow, okay. Who's
Okay.
taking them and from where?
Um, it can't be Paige because then it'll be automatic. And isn't like everybody else injured? Oh no, Kristen Williams, because Kristen played for the Phoenix Mercury in training camp, so it's actually going to be the Kristen Williams revenge game,
Ooh. Okay.
because she got cut. And I actually meant to mention that at the top of the hour here because it's just another reason to add to the laundry list of them that the Wings could pull this out and get the 10th win tonight over my squad, the Phoenix Mercury. It's disgusting. I hate to say it.
Will this be a repeat of that July 3rd contest where the two rookies shot? I mean, look, I can make that comparison like the Mystics. Like, if the rookies aren't playing well there, they're not playing well, and that could be the same for Dallas. Like, at this point, you're so relying on your rookies to play well. If they don't play well, like they're not going to win.
You need the loot.
And I,
Oh my god! I just completely
You need the
glitched.
youth.
Just
You're,
go
you're
ahead and
saying
take it over. The youth will lead
you need the
us.
youth. The youth will lead you. It is a
Yes.
advantage to have youth for that reason.
Yes. Classic Sting Lover. We
well, thanks.
appreciate you, dude. The
Yeah, I
9.99
was
super
like, thank
chat.
God.
Great show. Heck
Oh, that's
yeah.
awesome.
I thought we did something wrong. I was like, Classic Thing Lover hasn't said anything. It's been so quiet from Classic Sting. Like, I thought we did something wrong. I was worried he was
No.
mad at us.
Also, have they broke ground yet? I don't actually know because I think it was initially supposed to be done and then it was changed. The timeline was changed for it to on the practice facility. It was changed to, I believe, to open up in April or May. Like I think even the most optimistic timeline as of like 3 or 4 months ago was that it was going to be like maybe not done in time for the season to start, that's pretty tough if that's the case. But bureaucracy stuff, and funding issues and all sorts of garbaggio that I don't really understand. I don't know if it's going to be ready by the time the season starts, which is a huge bummer because it's a pretty pivotal offseason. And wouldn't it be great as part of your recruiting pitch to potential free agents, be like, hey, here's some pics of the new facility. Hey, check it out. Instead, you're going to have to send renderings. All right. And I don't know if y'all are big rendering fans. I'm not a big fan of renderings.
I did a quick Google search and I think it's hilarious that the wings.wnba.com page, it's obviously a typo, but on March 15th, 2016, there was an article posted that coming soon, Dallas Wings practice facility. And again, obviously a typo,
Heck yeah.
but actually also obviously incredibly hilarious.
I'm on the look. I've been holding my breath for more than 9 years. Please. Please, when is it opening? When?
Yeah, I think the expectation was training camp of 26, so that's the hope. But again, yeah, to what Bobby just said too, like, you know, when is this going to be a fully complete project? Plus, they're moving. I know they're trying to move downtown as well for a new arena, which I think was 2027. Correct me if I'm wrong there.
Yeah, it was
You're
supposed to
correct.
be next year, but then because basically the Dallas Convention Center has a stadium and it has an arena, and the arena it seats like 8 or 10,000 people. Like, it's a pretty big arena, and maybe even more than that. But they're doing a bunch of World Cup games are being held in Dallas, and so they're turning the Dallas Convention Center into like the media thing. All the international broadcasters are going to be there and everything. So they have to do construction on the convention center to prep it for that, and then they're going to do construction on the actual arena. So it got bumped back a year. So thanks a lot, World Cup. Just kidding. We love the World Cup, and I'm looking forward to covering it and providing coverage of the World Cup right here on DLLS Sports YouTube.
That was a really good plug, Bobby. And I feel a hashtag blessed that I got to hear that.
Thank you.
We are going to be doing a season recap next week. I want to do something fun because it's been so and unfun. So my plan right now is to do like an end of season. Obviously, we'll recap what happened, but then I want to do an end of season superlatives, a little award show. And so if you are a viewer, you're listening to this right now, and you have an idea, you're like, oh my gosh, Erica, you have to implement this award. I feel like this could be a reoccurring thing. Like next year we do, albeit after the playoffs. After the playoffs, I would like to be doing this in 2026.
After the
For the
parade.
record. Parades are a real soft spot for me right now, Bobby. After losing to the Sun and the Sparks, like my parade plans kind of got thrown out the window, and I am feeling extremely bitter about it.
Don't give up. Don't give up.
It's okay. If it makes you feel better, we've had 2 parades in this city in the last, 20 years, Bobby?
So the one parade that we've had in the last 15 years was in a parking lot. So I don't know. No disrespect to the Rangers. It was a great World Series run, but it was literally just around parking lots. We need like a proper. I need it to come downtown. Our office is right next to a great location for a parade. I would love to have a difficult time getting into work one day because several convertibles are carrying hordes of drunk athletes having the best day of their lives.
A cigar smoking Paige Bueckers is blocking the parking garage. Doesn't that just inject that into my veins?
It's what we need because it's also like, hey, since you're already here, we got a studio upstairs. It's air conditioned. All right. You could just totally come in and hang out for a little bit.
Come on in. Be on our DLS Wing Show. Yeah.
Yeah, I know some people that would love to chat with you. Also, while you're at it, bring the damn Shirley Temple. Okay, I'm done playing games with Shirley Temple. I don't know if you guys have forgot, but I still need the Shirley Temple. So, yeah, don't forget about that. But yeah, if you do have any ideas for awards or just something you cannot let be forgotten about next week, DM me on Twitter at Eric Lee Day. My DMs are open and I actually read them. Even if I don't respond, I always read it. If I don't respond, it's probably because I got distracted by the 85 other notifications I got on my phone at the exact same time. So it's not personal, I promise.
What do you got going on your phone?
You can DM me anytime. Bobby, I run 2 businesses off of there, and I'm a 26-year-old woman.
A lot going on.
She's working the phones to get this trade of Angel Reese to come to Dallas.
You're plotting. I like that.
Yes, David Veenstra in the chat. Chris Koklanis, Shirley Temple, Gatorade Bath in 2026. Make it happen.
Hell yes. Hell yeah. Hell
Inject that. All right. Well, tell the people where they can find you because I actually don't know either of your Twitter names off the top of my brains.
Yes. My personal Twitter at Ali Jawad 024. Follow me there. Cowboys coverage. Just got back from the Star today. Home opener Sunday against the Cowboys. I'll be there for that as well to cover that. So check us out and at DLS Cowboys as well.
At DLLS_wings. At DLLS_Mavs. And all the other ones. You know them. You love them.
Heavy on that. Well, don't go anywhere because again, we're gonna be back next week for a recap. So be on the lookout for that. Have fun watching the Wings pick up their 10th win of the season. Be optimistic, feel happy, feel some joy, and even if not, know Erica's happy regardless of the outcome of the game, and that should make you happy enough. Thank you for watching. We will see you next week.
We all silly like the mayor.